Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and today we have one of my friends I would like to thank, Mr. Michael Cobbins, and he's done an excellent job with developing young youth, and finally has his own academy, has his own house, so to speak. Where you living at now, Mike? Tell the public where you living at now.
I'm still at 2718 East Street at our Endeavor campus, which is our K-8 building. We currently have our 9th graders. This is our first year of our high school existence. We're in the process of building our new high school from the ground up. Obviously, you got to go through all the stuff with the cities and the permits and stuff like that. So we bought a plot of land. I'm excited about it. We're building our school. We're building our gymnasium. And then we also bought another plot of land to build for our football field. So I'm excited about that. So currently right now I'm in my 2700 East 18th campus.
I love
but
it.
Eventually we'll be off of Truman and Winchester.
Hey, Mike, tell our audience, I like to say, you know the drill. You've been on the show before, but tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your journey in building that educational institution, and where you see it going from an athletic standpoint and an academic standpoint,
right,
for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. So I'm born and raised from Kansas City, Missouri. I played ball at Westport High School. From Westport, I played 4 years at Missouri Western, where I got my degree in physical education at Western. And then I got my master's in athletic administration. At that time, I was getting my master's. You know, I was playing arena football out in LA for the Los Angeles Avengers. And so I knew I wanted to be in education, but, you know, ultimately, like, football was my desire to continue to play at the next level. And so during that time, I was out at Hickman Mills and I was playing arena ball. So I would be from basically August to January, I was coaching and subbing at Hickman Mills, not ready to go into education full time because I still had a desire to play ball. And so it was that at that moment, like, I just really fell in love with it because I always wanted to coach on the collegiate level and not high school. And so I just really fell in love with those kids at Hickman Mills. And so I got into education after we had an Arena 1 lockout. And so in my mind, I'm just like, you know what? I could fall back on my education. I'm not really gonna worry about this football. At that time, I just had a baby. And so I went diving into education, full steam ahead. And so I was in independent school district. And so I heard about Kipp, I researched Kipp, and I came to Kipp in 2011, and I've been here ever since. And so I was originally hired as the PE teacher. Then I was more of dean of students. And then I was promoted to regional athletic director. And so I've been here grinding. It hasn't been easy. It's always, you know, you're always going to be tested. But at the same time, I had a vision. And my vision is to do something special here in Kansas City because this is my city. And I feel I'm honored to be from Kansas City. And, you know, I take pride in that. And so I just want, you know, our student athletes to know they can do anything they put their mind to. And so, you know, a lot of people, how do you really how you really measure success? And for me, is really doing the things you love to do to where people can't take their eyes off of you. Maya Angelou said that. And so for me, I love my job. It's not a day that I say I don't want to go into work. Like, I have one of the best jobs in the world, and that is impacting kids and motivating my coaches. And just being here at Kipp has just been truly special for me.
Let's talk about your middle school team. Over the weekend, that's what got you back on my radar. That's how powerful this social media is.
Yeah.
That I've seen your success from afar on social media, different sports things. I said, let me get Mike back on the program. What's been your latest success? What was going on Saturday?
We had a lot of great success this year at the high school and middle school. This Saturday was our KC Metro Final Four championships. We hold those every year where the top 4 boys team, the top 4 girls team play for the opportunity to win the KC Metro championship. It's who's gonna win it. You know, we've won it. Our boys have won it 4 times. Our girls haven't won it since 2012. And so great all around, great games. Hats off to all the middle schools that participated in it. But it ultimately came down to Kipp and Lincoln. I respect what Lincoln do. Our girls took care of business. I'm gonna pull this out. My girls, you know, see that?
That's what y'all were flashing that Saturday.
But my girls are so special because I'm the head girls basketball coach. And so I've been working with a lot of these girls since they were 7 and 8. And so to see them capture our first city championship since 2012 was special to us. We were on the mission from day one. They finished 14-0. And so what's even more special, my daughter is the starting point guard on that team. And so I just knew once I got them girls to 7th and 8th grade that those girls were going to be special. And so I'm truly invested into our girls program. And so how I ended up with the girls is just like one day I was just like, okay, I got to coach the girls. I don't have a girls coach. And I know I can get girls to play for me. So I was coaching middle school girls and middle school boys. So I just kind of stuck to the girl side because I love it. And
what are some of the challenges?
Man, they some emotional creatures, but I love them. I'll do anything for our girls. They work hard. They get it done in the classroom first. But some of the challenges is just, you know, give me more. You know, I want more. You know, and once they can understand that it's a purpose for what we're doing and what we're trying to build here, you know, I'm just not trying to win in the city. Like the vision that I have for our girls, because I'm over the girls program, is I ultimately want to win state. And I think I have the girls from our girls, our middle school girls and our high school girls, I think we have the girls that are going to make a run.
You got some horses over there?
We got some horses. Some horses.
Hey, Coach, I talked to you about this off camera. All right. A lot of programs, the type of kids that go to the schools in the IL and schools like yours, the type of families that, you know, they come from, resources at, you know, in scarce quantity. How do you deal with that? Or is that the case? Don't let me put...
You know, some of our kids come from single parent homes, you know, and then the resources, you talk about that, you know, we're a charter school, you know, we're just here to fill the need. You know, why do charter schools exist? I'm a KCPS product, you know, my last 2 years at Westport High School, we were Westport Edison Senior Academy. We, you know, a company in New York bought us. And so we became a charter school. So we're here to fulfill that need. You know, we're here to help with that need. And so no matter, you know, what color you are, no matter where you are academically, we're going to take you in here at Kipp. And so for us, you know, the challenges of being mentors, spending time with our kids outside of school, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's bigger than athletics for us. Like, I demand for my coaches to build relationships. We don't have the facilities that everybody has. But the key for us is how strong is that relationship you're going to build with that student athlete. And I truly believe, you know, once you build that relationship and it's genuine with the student athletes and the parents, skies is the limit. And so I just think we just do that really well.
How important is it to have a good administration behind you? You got some years up under your belt in life in general, not just in education, to have good support systems when you're trying to make the moves you're making.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, they say oil flows from the head down, and it starts with your leader, you know? And so we have a executive director here, Jenna Cooper, who loves sports. She understands what sports do for our kids. She understands my vision and what I want to accomplish. And she supports that, as well as our high school principal and our middle school principals. Like, they love athletics. I mean, you should have seen Saturday, like, we were there, you know, big support.
I told you that's how I'm talking to you now. Yeah, I know they were there. The kids were on 12. I used to be like, on 1 to 10. Them kids was on 12. Y'all flashing your goal. They had that trophy. I'm like, don't break it, honey.
It's very important, Carlos. You gotta have help. But what's even more important, and one thing I've learned early in life, is how to be a good leader. And so for me and my staff, I demand a lot, but also I let my coaches do their jobs. And so for me, being a leader, sometimes as a leader, sometimes you got to get out there and lead, and you can lead in many facets. I've always been a leader. It was always instilled in me to be a leader. And so for me, the vision that I have, my coaches have no other choice but to be successful, and so it really starts, like you said, from the top in administration. Then I'll play a big role in that too. How am I setting my coaches up to be successful? We played high school for the first time this year. We did well. Our football team finished 7-1. Our volleyball team finished 6-1. We had to cancel some games because of COVID. But how did I set my high school coaches up for success? And so ultimately, I made sure we got great quality coaches. I made sure that my coaches were able to get the things that they needed. And we were very vocal in the community. And we had people standing behind us, helping us with the things that we need, ultimately, so we can give our kids the resources they need so they can be successful. And so that's just kind of translated over to winter sports. Our high school boys are 10-2. Our high school girls are 9-4. Our middle school girls finished 14-0. And then our middle school boys finished 12-1. They lost to Lincoln by 1 point, in
the last seconds of the game, according to social media.
Yeah, that was a tough one to swallow, because I knew the work that those boys put in. I knew the work that my head coach put in, and so to lose a tough one like that, I just basically looked at those 8th graders and I said, it's bigger than this right now. We're building something special. And what's more important for you right now is not what you do right now, it's what we do after this, how hard we train. This is a tough loss, but what are you going to do after this?
Well, I wanted you segued right into your sports, but what I wanted you to do is give the middle school girls, mention some names and why you're mentioning them, what their contribution, and then I want you to go to the high school kids.
Okay. For our girls, I think it starts off, she's a special kid to me. I've been coaching Darian Hunt since she was 8. And I've always pushed her, always challenged her. She just didn't understand, why she wasn't starting in the past, but I knew her potential. And she's so confident. She called herself the GOAT. So she is an 8th grader. And she plays, pretty much play 1 through 5. She's long, she's versatile, she can defend, she can put the ball down, she can rebound, but she was our tournament MVP. And so she was very consistent in the tournament. We have another guard, Samara Higgins, I've been coaching her since she was 7. She's feisty. You may have seen her hit a 3 and did that to the coach. She was the one doing the flips after the game, but can knock down a 3 ball, a competitor, plays hard. Another girl we got, Jayla Phillips. She's a longer point guard. She can put the ball on the floor. She can shoot the ball. Very talented. And then, we have my daughter, Mikaya Cobbins. She's in the 7th grade. And so she's our point guard. She's able to get us in sets. She's able to facilitate, but she's also a scorer too. But you're going to see her be the ultimate team player. Like, she leads, she's vocal, she's talking to the girls, but man, she loves her teammates and she celebrates their success. So I'm excited about her. And, I got into girls because of my daughter. I started out with Della and I was coaching 6 and 7-year-olds, and I got stuck into it, and I'm coaching 19 little girls that are 6 and 7 years old. I had about 5 of them stay with me. And so we got another girl named Daraya, first year playing. She's feisty, can really cover the paint well, a lot of block shots, can rebound a lot. And I'll look forward to her coming up to us in the high school. And then we have Imani Jones, who was out all season. I've been coaching Imani since she was a junior. Since she was 7 as well. And, she had shin split problems. So she had to sit out the majority of the season. And she's another point guard, can really control the tempo, is really not going to make a lot of mistakes and really get us into what we want to do. But she was able to play in the championship, and to see her face that adversity and come back from all that, like, I just hated seeing her like that. You know, like, all these girls are my daughters. Like, I love them. Like, I'm very passionate about them. Another girl we got, Mikaya James, just can defend, can run. I've been working with her for a minute since 4th grade, and a lot what we do here is we really develop our girls here. Like, a lot of our girls don't play basketball until they get to Kipp, and so we go to work. You know, we work on the fundamentals, we work on those things, and so Mikaya, you know, she's going to be a heck of a high school player for us. And then Lily Collins, she mentioned, I never play basketball. I never play volleyball. And all these girls do all 3 sports. So we don't just let our girls play basketball. You're going to represent our school, and you're going to do all 3 sports, 4 sports.
What kind of parental support comes from the families? They probably love it.
Our families are there. Listen, they are there. They cousins there, Day there, Pookie there. Like, they show up for these babies and they cheer for our kids. And when you hear Blue Jays, like, it's like a high school atmosphere at our middle school games, because our parents come, their families come, our staff members come, our high school and middle school kids support each other. You know, it's just like one big support, you know, because they all practice together. Our high school boys practice with our middle school boys, and our middle school girls practice with our high school girls, and it's competitive. Like, you got my middle school girls saying, we coming to take y'all spot. So, and it's very competitive with the boys. Like, we go at it, Carlos. We go at it.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. As I said to you off camera, see, you still young, and and you building your rep and the school's rep. And that was one of the major reasons I said about administrative support. You can do all you want to do, but if that administration is not embracing and y'all are not on the same page, it works on the outside, but it doesn't work to grow the way I've seen your educational charter school grow over the last 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm. And I always tell my bosses, if it starts with our kids and it ends with our kids, I'm all in. You know, I'm going to go to war for our kids. You know, we demand a lot from them. You know, expectations are here, you know, and demanding a lot, they have to meet that bar. Like, you know, my football coach don't believe in 100%. He don't believe that someone can give 100% all the time. And for me, I don't believe that either. And for me, I'm like, give me 110, because I need you selling out in everything you're doing. You know, I need y'all selling out in the classroom. We really want to win in the classroom first. And for us, it's not about the actual sports, but it's about us winning in the classroom. We got to win in the classroom. We got to have graduating champions. Like, we got to have student athletes. And if you can't do what you need to do in the classroom, you can't play for us. You can't represent us, you know? And one of the biggest things we did to really for our high school this year is that every day, Monday through Thursday, they had study hall for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. We had later practices, but one thing I understand, being from Kansas City, been a Prop 48 kid, the reason why I went to Missouri Western was because I didn't have an ACT score. I learned from that, you know? And so each and every last one of our freshmen are going to take the ACT. It's mandatory this spring, because we want them to feel what that environment is like for 3 hours. We really want to put them in that room so they can understand what it's like. And so if you're challenging them now and you're putting them through that, when it comes to time, and I know we got the COVID and stuff like that with the ACTs, but our kids are already equipped and prepared to sit there mentally, you know, because it's mentally draining when you taking those tests. And then to really push our practices back and to really demand my coaches, we need to get this done academically first, because you know what? If we take care of our freshman year, kids are not doing credit recovery throughout the summer. We have to make that sacrifice as a staff. You know, so what it looked like for our high school kids, their teachers are here. So their teachers are here till 4:30. So they're going in and doing study hall and getting tutoring that they need every single day, Monday through Thursday. We did this for winter sports and for fall sports. And then we just kept the same momentum from winter sports. Our kids get out at 12:35. They're here the boys are here to like 6, the girls are here to 7 at night, and so it's demanding, but guess what? We're taking care of first. We're winning in the classroom. And that way, as our kids go to their sophomore years, every kid is eligible, every kid is on track. And so we took care of business, and that's just where we got to win at. And I'm all for the classroom. Like my coaches know, you won't hear much from them. But if a kid ain't doing what they're supposed to do, and not because we don't give D's here, and I see a 69, I may pull that kid, like, because that's not what we're doing here. We want kids that can get it done in the classroom first, and then sports, that comes second nature to a lot of our kids because we have a lot of great athletes here.
Yeah, well, that's appropriate on really closing this conversation, because as we in Cascade Sports recognize, for the last since '08, we've called ourselves home of the student athlete, and we make that a very prominent in our discussions with coaches and with the athletes, that education comes first and athletics come. I'm glad to know that that's the track that you all are on. And we here at Cascade Sports wish you the greatest success. Do you have any closing words that you would have for our audience?
When people think about Kipp, I just think you really can't judge a book by its cover, because I think what we do here is we really help what they need with all our kids. And so even on the athletic side, being from Kansas City and learning from a lot of mistakes that I've seen that my coaches did, or how we kind of failed as a district, you kind of take that and you learn from it and say, what can I do differently? And so whenever someone see Kipp, you're going to see kids being respectful. You're going to see our coaches being respectful, but we're going to come out there to compete. Like, we're not here just to be here. We really want to dominate in the fashion to where, I have a dream that I always tell all my coaches. I look forward to the day when I have our football players signing national letters of intent in our gym. I look forward to us seeing these young ladies signing scholarships, and so we have a plan. We're going to stick to that plan. Obviously, we did JV this year, and we're going varsity in track because we got some girls that are probably going to win state this year. But next year, we're going to go varsity in basketball. We're going to be varsity in track, but we're going to stick to JV and football to really get our boys where we need to be. But when you think of Kipp, we're a family. We're a team and family. And I'll say we built different because we're not like every program. We are truly built different.
You taking one step at a time, and you got a plan, and you got a date on finishing, really. Mm-hmm. I know that, especially with that JV jump to varsity, you don't want to get your kids in over their head before they're ready. But when they're ready, you coming out the gate.
Carlos, man, I'm so excited, man. I'm so passionate to know that my coaches are passionate, but I'm so passionate. And as I sat back, this has been challenging coming back from COVID, But when I sat back and just kind of look at everything, and see how like our football team finished, and how much growth we had, and not knowing how many kids we were going to have, we had 25 boys on our football team, and to see them step up and to go in some people are surprised on how our kids act. How are we supposed to act? What do you mean? So when I say we truly built different, we built a lot of relationships with a lot of schools. To one point, we went down in the Kingsville tournament and played in the varsity basketball tournament this year. Those are like some of our losses. And they were just impressed. Like, I made my kids clean up. We cleaned up other people's stuff. And the lady was like, we've never seen nobody do that. And I'm just like, we different, so.
Some home training, all of that. Because I go back to, if I was dealing, and when I do deal with these kids, I'm more of I hate to date Bobby Knight type and them type where get your blazer on, get your shirt and tie on, and you better look sharp and you better win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
and
old school
know how to
around here.
act.
We old school around here. We old school. Like I got a lot of coaches that are just like that. You know, my girls be like, Coach, you bipolar, but they know I love them. Like I love all my kids.
But when they look back, see, this is where I was saying your life experience and you playing arena, you playing from high school. You done seen a lot of different things, a lot of different coaches, a lot of things that work, a lot of things that don't work. And I tell you this, that discipline always works. I don't care if it's 1919 or 2022. And some of them might not appreciate it right then, but when they look back, they be like, man, I had some people that were really trying to teach me how to be a human being.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm gonna go another step. Andy Ashley, who's my high school football coach, and this is why I do what I do. He always made himself available for me. I will always go and eat lunch with him every lunch period. And a lot of me and my teammates would be up there and we were like a sponge just soaking up the knowledge. But he always made himself available for me. And so, you know, my office sit right in the smack of the 8th grade, 7th grade, high school hallway. And I always open my office, not just for my girls, but for my boys. Like, you want to talk, come talk to me. What's up? And they know that it's genuine, you know? And so for me, it's all about relationships. I've always been a big believer in that. I always believe if it starts with the kids and it ends with the kids, you can go as far as you want to. So I've always made it about our kids first. If you're an adult and you can't make it about our kids, you can't work here at Kipp KC because I'm gonna demand a lot from you. And so it's for these kids. That's why we do what we do. Every morning I wake up, every night I go to sleep. Like I think about what can I do for my kids the next day? How can I create a culture that is memorable to our kids? How can I create and set up things for our kids so they can have a wonderful high school experience, a middle school experience? And so, and it all comes back to the relationships. And so I take pride in that. I take pride in making sure I bring in the right coaches that are like-minded like me, that are passionate, that get after it, that demands discipline, that want to win. And so for me, you have no other choice but to be successful if you're a coach here, because our kids are getting coached up in the middle school and they're going to get coached up in high school.
It's all good. But as we close out with our usual saying, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.